Right.
Rob Schomer is a city administration staff person.
Correct.
And again, it's been well known previously that I've dealt with other city administrations, again, getting zoning issues, things of that nature worked up. Our city manager's never had a problem with it before until now.
Why do you think he's got an issue with it now?
I think he's got an issue with it now, again, purely because of transparency. Because we have a sitting judge that has come into our community that stated that, he's not the right guy to negotiate. We need to get the combatants out of the room. And that's very concerning, in my opinion. And Rob Schomer, again, as the city manager, has shown other instances of, poor negotiation skills. Again, Judge Piergis himself stated at that meeting that you attended,
yes,
that the best negotiator is typically not a police officer.
Right.
That is now in a city manager position. He stated that with State Representative Phil Plummer sitting right there in that same room you were in.
Right. In a joking manner,
Yeah.
but a serious joking manner.
Correct. Yeah. So further on to the email in question, he states, I'm certain having county administration staff contact you directly puts you in an uncomfortable position. I'm going to pause there. No, it doesn't. He goes on to say, as I am also certain, since you have been informed and involved in the court topic discussion, you did not reach out or arrange contact by the county administrative staff. As I stated earlier, I did, because I'm trying to figure out what I'm fact-finding. We got a judge coming in saying one thing, saying he's negotiating with elected officials on our council, and I'm contacting the county administrator and the deputy county administrator saying, what council members? Because that's a direct violation of our charter. That is the sole explanation of interference with city administration. The same thing They tried to railroad Mr. Otto with just recently.
And if I'm correct, the explanation in the charter is you can inquire.
Correct.
And in this particular case, you could inquire, but you cannot negotiate.
Correct. And that's exactly what I've done. And the deputy county administrator and the county administrator himself has stated that fact multiple times, that in no way, shape, or form have I ever negotiated with them. And I think that's a very important piece. Because as I stated, again, the reason doing this is because Monday, as I continue on this, they're going to come after me with the same charge they tried Mr. Otto to say that I was interfering. Because, again, I believe that individuals...
Why do you think they're going to do that?
It's a proven track record.
Okay. To me,
yeah,
I believe you because of the text message, because of the email you just read. Okay.
So this email continues to go on and states that in case someone wants to bring this scenario up in conversation, the purpose of this email is to clarify my belief that county administration circumvented opportunities to contact me and chose to contact you as an elected official to negotiate the court situation. I just verified with you. There was no negotiation. It was strictly an inquiry, strictly fact-finding. The information initially presented was that you went into their office. I can tell you right now that as of this email on September 19th, at 10:55 a.m., I had never been inside the county administration building. I have never, at this point, never met the county administrator or the deputy county administrator.
You've spoke with them or talked through email and
but
you never
the initial phone call the conversations that we spoke of earlier here in this podcast. So to say that somebody has presented to him that I went into that office, that's a complete false.
So we, in full transparency, because what we would like, we probably won't get it, but the city manager should let you know at least who that was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd like to know who that was, because that's somebody that's presenting false information about me. Further, this email goes on to say, however, I feel this information is not accurate. So he follows that by saying he doesn't believe it's accurate. Then why would he put it in the email? Why would he make that statement in the email that someone told him that? but he doesn't believe it's accurate.
So somebody told him, but he doesn't believe it. He's just emailing you to see if that's what. Okay.
He goes on to state, I simply want to clarify that fact based on conversation/information I heard in my conversation with Mr. Plummer. So there are no more unnecessary rumors or attempts by anyone to create a false issue.
Right.
That's a red flag. Because, again, where it states, no more unnecessary rumors or attempts by anyone to create a false issue. None of this information I provided today is false. So far, I've got all this information backed up, emails, phone calls, and the folks so far will attest to every bit of that.
Okay.
He goes on to state, I'm aware the court was discussed in executive session, and there was a conversation around various people and contacts with the county. This email is only in regard to information I obtained in a discussion about the topic outside of executive session. In other words, I'm not trying to relate this to anything discussed in executive session, in parentheses, for the record.
So for the record,
yeah.
Which we have it here. So, what do you believe he's actually saying in this email?
Well, and again, I think exactly what the last paragraph states. He says, please do not see this as an inquisition of sorts, nor me questioning you as a council member. Well, Matt, I want to stop right there because so far, during the text messages and during this email, he's done nothing but ask me a bunch of questions.
Right.
I mean, I almost feel like I'm at a deposition.
Sure.
He goes on to say, I have no other agenda other than to safeguard the spreading of misinformation as well as preventing the standard network of individuals from promulgating their lies and slander upon individuals for situations they have no knowledge, information, or facts about.
Right.
If that email right there does not tell you that he is looking for information to, in my opinion, for a railroad job, I don't know what other red flags you need. So I want to further state for everybody and yourself, as we're even sitting here tonight, I have not responded to any text messages or emails outside of what I've shared with you right now. So further on that, mind you, that email I just read you was at 10:55 a.m.
This is Friday of last week.
Thursday
of last week?
September 19th at 10:55 a.m.
Okay.
So at that same time, I read the email and is this something I should respond to? And I was like, no, because I already told him that I want to have additional conversations in executive session with additional facts that I have. So Rob Schomer called me and left me a short voicemail at 2:47 p.m., roughly 3.5-4 hours after this email, and says, hey, please give me a call. So again, multiple times he's attempted to reach out.
Did you return that phone call?
I did not.
Okay.
No, I have not returned that phone call. So Friday came about, and I had an unfortunate incident with my tire. I had to go to tire discounters and things of that nature. So I didn't really know what to do at that point in time. I still had all this information in my head. So at that point in time, I said, you know what? I need to get this information further validated.
You're feeling that something's amiss.
Correct. Yes,
okay.
Something's amiss. I've got the city manager reaching out to me in text messages, phone calls, emails. He's asking me for information. From what I shared inside executive session, I've reached out to the law director. Again, I'm looking, for a railroad job coming my way. So at that point in time, on September 20th, this was Friday, I contacted the clerk of court, Mike Foley. Reached his receptionist. His receptionist said, he's not present. So I left him a voicemail at 9:20. My voicemail was simply, hey, Mr. Foley, this is Councilman Shaw with City of Heber Heights. Could you return my phone call? So at that point in time, Councilman Otto and I made a trip down to the county administration building in downtown Dayton at 10:22 a.m.
Okay.
I asked Mr. Otto to drive me down there because obviously my car is out of commission, getting some tire work done. So Mr. Otto drove me down there.
But in all transparency, you guys work together on council.
Yes.
And you guys campaigned together.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Full transparency.
Yep.
And again, this same information I'm sharing with you, all 7 pages of this document that I'm sharing with you here today will be available for the public to email me. I'm going to give a copy of it to our clerk of council for the public record. So everything that I'm talking about here today is
by the time folks listen to this, will already be available.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes. So, again, as I stated, I contacted Mike Foley's office at 9:20 a.m., left a voicemail. Myself, Councilman Otto, went down to the county administration building. We entered the building at 10:22 a.m. Now, Matt, you're probably asking, Richard, throughout this whole process, you're giving me dates and times and names. Because
I think there are folks probably asking.
Probably asking why. Why is he doing all this? Well, again, we got a historical past of people playing politics in this community.
Right.
We've seen it several times, time in and time out. I've seen. So, again, the timeline. Why am I doing all this? Well, again, we've seen it time and time again where politics have been played in the community.
Right.
I seen the email. I seen the text messages. I was in executive session. I felt it best that I needed to protect myself from what I seen as a railroad job, which is why I have dates, times, and emails. Everything that I'm stating here today, as I stated previously, I would swear to a legal affidavit as all is true, in fact, to the best of my knowledge. Because, again, that's, in my opinion, the part of transparency in this community that we've been lacking thus far on several issues. So back to the fact that me and Mr. Otto go into the county administration building. We arrived at the 11th floor.
Okay.
We went up and asked to speak with County Commissioner Carolyn Rice. So that's an important fact there that I want to stop on because if you remember in our city manager's email, he says I should only deal with elected officials. So I'm going to.
Rice is elected.
Yeah. So I'm going to go and speak with an elected official.
Okay.
So the receptionist advised me that she wasn't present, and at that time, myself and Councilman Otto was greeted by her admin in the common area. We weren't in an office. We weren't in a secret back room, a dungeon, or anything like that. So anybody who had traveled up the 11th floor elevator and got off would have seen me standing right there with Councilman Otto and the admin for Carolyn Rice. So upon introducing ourselves there in the common area, we were approached at that time by the county administrator. Now, mind you, as I stated previously, I never met the county administrator.
Right.
Couldn't tell you what he looked like or anything else of that nature. Never met the man, never shook his hand. That was the first time I ever met him. And that, now again, I want to further state, that was not my intention of going there. I'd asked the receptionist to meet with Carolyn Rice.
Okay.
He just happened to be in earshot when myself and Councilman Otto introduced ourselves to the admin of Carolyn Rice. He came out.
So he knew you guys were there, and he came out to say what?
Well, he just came out and say, "Hey,
okay.
Are you Mr. Shaw I had spoke to on the phone previously?" And I said, "Yes." So at that point in time, during our introductions with the county administrator, the deputy administrator came out of an office and greeted us as well. Now, again, this is the first time I've ever met Tyler Small.
That's the deputy?
Deputy county administrator. I talked to him on the phone. I gave you the dates and times of that.
Right.
This was the first time I ever met him. Again, as we had stated, our intention was to go there to speak with Carolyn Ryan.